Hey y'all. All right, we are back working in the shop on the $50 318. Been working a lot on it, and I've been doing a lot to the this engine test stand, or the grocery cart, making it into an engine test stand. So I kind of lost track where what I've done, what's been done, and what hasn't. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and get into it and tell you some of the latest things I've done. As you can see, we'll start out with the radiator up here. I made these brackets right here. They made the radiator kind of bouncy. So I added this brace right here, running over here to the radiator, running over here to this. Don't worry, this isn't bolted on. It's just in place to be bolted on. I'm not going to bolt it on right now because it's still got the intake off. So this is just for mock-up right now, and I put the alternator on here, same reason, just to mock it up, just to see, make sure I had room here, and nothing was going to interfere with each other and all of that. So, next is I added this piece of this old bolt I found. I cut the head of it off and welded it to this to keep this thing from turning on here. I wanted it to keep it from turning because it would shift, and it would shift all over that way a whole lot, and I wanted to make sure it didn't. This back here I've done a lot. Now I've got this dash mounted right here, and I'm going to cut this out to mount my oil pressure gauge in there, and I'm going to be mounting some other gauges in there as well. I've got the ignition switch mounted in here. This isn't hooked up to anything right now. I may hook that up to a fuel pump, electric fuel pump, or something like that. I've got a battery right there. I made this battery tray. This also just made all of that from scrap there. These stands right here for that hold up the dash right here. As you can see, I've got gas tank mounted right here, bolt right there, bolt right here. This L bracket mounts the gas tank. I've got another bracket right here that keeps the dash sturdy. So, pretty simple stuff, nothing really radical. This brace right here for the battery tray, I just bent it up. There's a piece of rusty metal, that rusty bar right there, that I just bent some of that up and welded it on here. So, which did good enough. And there's another piece of it right there, which did plenty good enough to hold this battery in here. And so, still got to mount the oil pressure gauge in here. I've got to take this hole, and I'm going to take a die grinder and just make that hole larger. I don't really have a hole saw to make it bigger. It's just the way it goes right now. I will be getting a hole saw set that will make those larger holes, but for right now, I've got a step drill bit and take it out as big as I can. Then I go back with the die grinder. Mounted the gas tank right there. I'm not terribly crazy about it being mounted right there, but I didn't want it mounted over here or over here, because then the heat from the engine or the headers or manifolds could come up and really monkey with the that plastic gas tank. Really cause it a lot of problems. I guess some people would probably have mounted the gas tank maybe up here up front. I'm not real crazy about that either, because then you're kind of impeding the airflow to the radiator. So there's not a hell of a lot of places to put it. There just isn't. You know, it is what it is, okay? It's kind of one of those deals. All right, right. So there's really not much else to report on. Oh, this fuel filter, this is just hooked to, it's not hooked to anything. I've just got it sitting in there just to keep track of it. I'm going to use it on this here. I would just hook the fuel line up to a mechanical pump, but I've got the Magnum set up here, and the Magnum timing cover does not have a hole for the fuel pump. So knocks that out. Can't do that. I guess next I'll be working on putting the oil pressure gauge in there. I've already got one hooked up to the engine. I just got to put it in the dash. And then next after that I'll be probably working on cleaning these heads up to get them cleaned up for an intake to go on. I've got several cast iron 4-barrel intakes. That right there's one. There's 2 or 3 more over there. And I'll be mounting one of them in here, but I got to do a little cleaning in here. Got some crud in there. I got to probably vacuum that out, to be honest. So anyway, all right. So then when I get the intake on, then I'll put this back on and the alternator and all the pulleys and get the belt up here situated and everything like that. Then I've got a thermoquad I got to build for this. But the engine test stand, outside of the oil pressure gauge and maybe mounting a tack, I've got a tack laying over there on the floor. I think that son of a gun works, but I'm not absolutely certain. So if I can get that thing to working, that would be great. Yeah, a buddy of mine got that somewhere and gave it to me. So anyway, I'll see what I can do to get this thing working. Get that working and get this put back together. All right. If you like this video, give it a big old thumbs up, which I do appreciate you all doing all of that. I mean, we're up now over 1,980 something subscribers, which is amazing to me. I'm just literally, it means a lot to me, and I'm just blown away when you all do that. It's just like, it's crazy. It's really crazy. I never would have thought anything like this. So, you know, when I got to 500 subscribers, I was like, oh, wow. You know, that's a lot. You know, and I thought, 1,000, you know, that's crazy. Now I'm almost at 2,000, and I'm like, oh my God. So anyway, all right. But I seriously appreciate you all for that, and I thank you so much. And if you have any further questions, comments, ideas, anything about this video, you know what to do. Drop it down below. I'll get right back to you as soon as I possibly can and help you out. I thank you so much. God bless. Have a great one.